Hi friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Megan and I make particularly terrible videos about my efforts training for an Ironman 70.3. So if that's something that interests you, give a little like, give a little subscribe, and let's talk about this week. This week's training was particularly light because of one tiny but huge little reason. Wheelito got really sick this week, and by really sick I mean he almost died. So a lot of my time and energy and attention went to taking care of him, getting him to the vet, getting his medicine, cooking for him. And I talk more about that later, so I'm not going to waste too much time talking about him. But yeah, if your dog ever seems like they're a little bit off, just take him in. Just take him into the vet. A couple dollars, I know it's expensive, I get it, but they're family. At least that's how I feel about them. So, okay, aside from taking care of Mr. Wheelito this weekend, I'm tired. I am tired. I did get a few good runs in. I ran with Miss Edith for New Year's Eve, and then I actually signed up for a race. I wasn't expecting to do a race at all this early in the year, but I figured, you know what? I'm not in it to win it. I just want to go. I want to get some more Zone 2 cardio endurance in, and I figured that a race is just gonna be a change of scenery, and it was fun. It was a 4.7 mile run celebrating New Mexico becoming the 47th state. And since I live right on that Texas-New Mexico border and I drive up to New Mexico every week, I figured, hey, what's another day of running up there? Let's go get some miles in. And I did well. Let me show you how well I did. Hold on. Look at that. I actually placed, which is a huge surprise to me because, like I said, taking care of this guy and then just dealing with some other life stress that I got going on right now, I'm not sleeping well. I'm definitely not eating well. I definitely sat in my car eating a cheeseburger one night. But you know, we've all been there, we've all done it, and that's not the point right now. Why, hello there again, friends. It is Tuesday the 31st, the last day of 2024. Woohoo! And man, it is going out with a bang. This week really has not gone how I anticipated in any way, shape, or form. As you last saw on Saturday, Miss Edith and I, she's right there, we had a really nice run, and then Sunday, I just flat out recovered. I was a little bit tired, just not really feeling it, and that's okay. So I did some yoga and just pretty much rested instead of lifting or anything like that. I was really excited because Monday was going to be my last swim lesson of the week, but life kind of had other plans for me. Everyone's little Wheelito, he got sick. He got really, really sick, actually. When I woke up on Monday morning, he was in his crate, which is super weird for him. Usually he comes out, has a cup of coffee with me, and yesterday he didn't at all. When I fed everyone, he didn't get up. When I went to work, he didn't get up. By 10 a.m., I was checking on the house cameras, talking to Mike. Neither of us had seen Waylon move at all. So at that point, I was pretty worried because he is one active little guy. Oh, let me find Edith. There she is. Hey, good girl. Sometimes she wanders off, and well, it's a big desert, and I don't want to lose her. Anyway, so I was at work, and I realized, you know what? I don't need to be here today. Taking care of Waylon is my number one priority. So I got home, and the poor little guy was barely moving. He was super hunched over. He was screaming every time Gunnar came around. I thought, oh, it's time to go to the hospital. Took Waylon to the doggy hospital. Turned out he had acute pancreatitis, and if I hadn't taken him in, that would have been fatal. So he spent the afternoon at the doggy hospital, brought him home, and I decided, you know what? Once again, my priorities are taking care of my pack, so I didn't get to go to my swim lessons yesterday. Very happy to say that he is doing much better and he's recovered. He had a second round of antibiotics this morning. Sorry, not antibiotics, but just medicine and stuff. And you know what? He came home and he did a flying leap to bite Edith's ear. So he's definitely feeling better. I did get him some ground turkey and some rice for dinner that I'll be making here in a couple, I don't know, like an hour or so. And yeah, he should be feeling much better. Just look out for your little critters. They're kind of important. However, it is still time to train for a triathlon. So I got Miss Edith out here again with me, and well, right now I've walked more than I've actually run, but we're gonna get some miles in and we're going to enjoy a very happy and thankful New Year. So I hope all y'all are being safe and all of your fingers are still attached tomorrow if you are playing with fireworks.
So last week, you guys got to meet Mr. Gunner Bear and learned a little bit about his history with us. And this week, you might as well meet Mr. Waylito. I met Waylon back when he was just a tiny little puppy about 6 years ago when I lived up in Las Cruces, New Mexico. His previous family had kinda sorta left him behind, and honestly, now that I know him, I get it. He can be a jerk, but he's my jerk, And I'm really surprised that his pancreas, of all things, is what's giving him a hard time. He's been bit by a rattlesnake, attacked by 4 German shepherds, he got lost in the desert, and well, let's be honest, we have clashed a couple times. But I love him, he's my buddy, and I'm so glad that he's feeling better.
Good morning, you beautiful people. It is Saturday, January 4th, 2025. Happy New Year. And we're in a parking lot. You know why we're in a parking lot? Because we are doing a race. We are doing a 4.7 mile long race to celebrate New Mexico becoming the 47th state in America. So I'm up in Las Cruces, New Mexico at the Field of Dreams, which is a really cute stadium name. And yeah, we're gonna go run 4.7 miles. I have no ambitions whatsoever about placing or doing well. This is just more training for me, more zone 2 training, just a fun way to switch things up a little bit, Let's just go do it and get some miles in. See you later.
Even though this was one of the smaller events that I participated in, there's just something magical about actually being at a race. Whether it's that runner's anxiety where everything's about to go, there's excitement from the crowd, people spectating, cheering on their loved ones, little kids that are just zooming around everywhere. It's just exciting, and I love the atmosphere. I'm glad that I was able to just get that back in my system again. Another thing that I thought was really cool was that there are 3 different phases of adult runners in this race. There was the ultra marathon group for 47-ish miles, the half-ish marathon at 14.7 miles, and then my group, just a little 4.75. I also love that they had a .47 race for kids, and there's a couple parents out there running, I think it was like a lap and a half with the kids. I don't know. It was just really cute. I also really enjoyed seeing a couple of my coworkers and a couple of people that I recognize from grad school. So, hey, Steven, how's it going? And yeah, it was just really good to be back. I can't wait to see what other races I end up doing this year.
Now I'm back in my car and I'm substantially warmer now. It's finally, the sun's finally coming out, and I just got done with 4.7 miles and we did it successfully. And I ended up averaging 9-minute 45-second miles. My total time was like 45 minutes and 34 seconds. Came in 4th place for my age group and 36th place for the race overall. So I'm pretty happy for just doing some zone 2 training. So yay, that was a good experience. I'm glad I signed up for this. I'm just really hungry now, and yep, time for a shower. Hello again. We are back in my car, and today's chapter of you shouldn't count yourself out. So I had assumed that since I was 4th place, I wouldn't get a medal, and I'm not doing this for medals, but hey, you know what? If I'm going to earn a medal, you betcha I'm gonna go claim it, right? Well, I got a 4th place medal. Not mad. I didn't realize that until I was almost halfway home, and Mike called me and was like, hey, you earned a medal, go back and get your medal. And I was feeling kind of silly, like, is it that big of a deal? Yes, it is an accomplishment, it's a celebration that's worth celebrating. So, turned my cute little Corolla around, and I was like, hey, I know you said you weren't going to mail them out, I just thought I'd come back and claim it if it was still there. turns out they gave it to the next person who was there in my age group, which makes perfect sense, not mad at that at all. They said, but we can give you a nice little clip-on for your like, I don't want to call it participation medal, but it's participation medal. So now I have a little road runner with a first on it. I'm not first place, but you know what? It's a good story and a good reminder that I should not count myself out. And yeah, good stories by Megan. Don't count yourself out. So what do we have going on next week? Next week is going to be a little bit weird. I am having surgery and I have to travel for my surgery. Everything is fine, but just taking care of some old news. So I'm not too sure what to expect. I'll be flying out on Tuesday, allegedly, because there's a giant winter storm that's coming through. And I will be down in Miami, so hopefully I can do some beach running before we go there, or at minimum I can just pretend I'm a walrus on the beach and start my recovery process. So I'm not sure if you guys will see me next week. My big assumption is no, you will not. You certainly won't, will you, little guy? But it'll be okay. And you know what? I will see you next time I see you. Go pet a dog or 3 and have a fantastic day. Goodbye.